Welcome back to Consumer Picks. I used to think mocha pots made bitter, burnt coffee until I realized it was my technique, not the pot. I tested 13 mocha pots and narrowed them down to the best 7, using the same brewing method to see which ones consistently produced rich, smooth coffee. My top pick completely changed my opinion of mocha pots. If you enjoy honest, hands-on reviews, subscribe. And let's start with number 7. Starting at number 7, the Alessi Pulsina. Look, this is a genuinely gorgeous piece of design. It's the result of a collaboration between architect Michel Delucchi and Illy Cafe, and that pedigree shows in the details. A specially engineered boiler designed to stop dispensing espresso right before bitterness sets in. Low-pressure pre-infusion that gradually ramps up water pressure for a gentler, more even extraction, and an anti-drip V-shaped spout that actually cuts off drips cleanly instead of dribbling down the side of the pot. On paper, this is one of the most technologically thoughtful mocha pots you can buy. But here's my honest take after testing it against the rest of this list. It's priced like a design piece, and functionally it's not delivering a cup that's dramatically better than mocha pots costing a fraction of the price. The build quality is excellent, and it's undeniably a beautiful object for your stovetop or your counter. If you want a genuine conversation starter and you don't mind paying a premium for industrial design pedigree, it's a great gift item. At number 6, the Mi-R New Standard. And this is the pick built for a completely different use case than everything else on this list. It's the backcountry, travel-friendly mocha pot. It's physically smaller than every other pot we tested while still holding a 6-cup capacity, wrapped in a matte black finish that shrugs off fingerprints, scratches, and campfire smoke without a second thought. The cleverest design touch here is the gasket. Mi-R added a small tab that lets you pull it out by hand for cleaning instead of needing a paring knife to pry it out like most mocha pots require. That same gasket has to be reassembled in exactly the correct orientation, and if you get it wrong, which I did during testing, the pot won't seal properly and it'll leak under pressure. The filter holes are also slightly larger than other pots on this list, and because of its compact size, you can't sandwich in an AeroPress paper filter the way you can with larger mocha pots to cut down on sediment. For camping and travel, this is a smart, durable choice. Coming in at number 5, the Bialetti Bricca, and this is Bialetti's answer for anyone chasing thicker crema out of a stovetop brewer, something most mocha pots simply can't produce. Bialetti markets this as the only stovetop espresso maker in their lineup capable of delivering that crema-rich, intense flavor profile, and in my testing, it genuinely does stand apart on that front. The brewing process is refreshingly straightforward. Fill the boiler, load the filter, close it up, put it on the stove, and wait for the gurgling sound before pulling it off the heat. It's versatile too. Gas, electric, and propane camping stoves are all fair game, though induction users will need to grab Bialetti's separate adapter plate, which is an extra purchase to be aware of. Where it lands in the middle of our pack is durability expectations and the aluminum build, which, while high quality, doesn't have quite the premium feel or heat retention of the stainless steel options higher on this list. If crema is your priority above all else, this earns a real look. For an all-around best cup of coffee, a couple of pots ahead of it edge it out. At number 4, the Bialetti Venus. And this is proof that Bialetti didn't stop innovating after the Moka Express. Made from stainless steel with a genuinely handsome mirror shine finish, this pot looked just as good sitting on my counter as it did actually working on the stovetop. And the wide base made it stable on every stovetop I tried, induction included. The thinner stainless steel heats up quickly and evenly, which translated to a fast brew that avoided any burnt or overheated flavor in my testing. The large filter basket produced a strong, balanced cup, and the wide handle made it comfortable to handle throughout the process. Assembly and disassembly were both simple, no fighting with stuck parts. The trade-off for that fast-heating thin metal is that it demands more attention while brewing. Walk away for too long, and you can overshoot your ideal extraction window. The narrow interior also made it harder to visually track the brew as it happened, which is a real advantage some other pots on this list have over it. Still, for a fast, good-looking, well-performing cup, the Venus is a genuinely strong option. At number 3 is the Grosche Milano, and I want to be upfront. At first glance, this looks like a straight knockoff of the Bialetti Moka Express, right down to the general silhouette, just swapped from an octagon to a decagon shape. Using the same coffee, same ratio, same preheated water, and same heat source, the Milano finished brewing a full minute faster than the Moka Express. In the blind taste test that followed, I actually preferred the Grosche. It was mellower straight off the stove and got noticeably juicier and more pleasant as it cooled, while the Bialetti showed some bitterness while hot and turned astringent as it cooled down. On top of that performance, the Milano cuts the price roughly in half compared to most mocha pots on this list, and its silicone gasket is both easier to clean and less prone to holding onto old coffee odors than Bialetti's rubber gasket. The one flag I'll raise is the lid hinge, which has a bit of play in it that makes me question its long-term durability. But for the price, and honestly for the taste test results, this is one of the biggest value stories on this entire list. At number 2, the Cuisinox Roma. And if you already love your mocha pot ritual and just want a premium material upgrade, this is the one to get. It's built like a mirror-finished tank, genuinely satisfying to hold, and it performs excellently even on induction stovetops, which trip up a lot of traditional aluminum mocha pots. The hefty stainless steel construction isn't just for looks either. It retains more heat, which drives water through the coffee grounds faster and helps you sidestep the bitterness that comes from coffee sitting in overheated water too long. That faster brew also means less time and energy spent standing at the stove. The handle design is genuinely one of the most ergonomic and comfortable I tested, and even small details like the lid feel more substantial and premium than on cheaper pots. My real frustration here is that Cuisinox sells a reducer disc separately that would let you brew smaller batches in this same pot. Relative to the build quality and the brewing performance, it still earns a spot right near the very top of this list. And that brings us to number 1, the original Bialetti Moka Express, designed all the way back in 1933 by Alfonso Bialetti and essentially unchanged since. Everything about the engineering just works. The base and body thread together smoothly with zero snagging. The plastic handle stays comfortable to hold even once the pot is fully heated, and the wide base sits stably on gas stovetop grates. The heavy-gauge aluminum heats evenly, which is the real secret to avoiding that bitter, burnt flavor I used to associate with mocha coffee. The filter basket size hits an ideal 1:10 coffee-to-water ratio, and the large holes on top of the funnel let me actually watch the coffee begin brewing in real time so I can regulate my heat for a slow, steady stream instead of a rushed, scorched one. It's not the flashiest pot on this list, and a couple of pricier options edge it out on pure material luxury. But for the combination of iconic design, reliable performance, and a genuinely great cup of coffee at an accessible price, the Moka Express earns the top spot. That wraps up our best mocha pots of 2026. For the best value, choose the Grosche Milano. For a premium everyday option, go with the Cuisinox Roma. And for the classic original, the Bialetti Moka Express is still hard to beat. Links are in the description. If this video helped, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.